Hello, my name is Nicole and I come to you from Texas. I'm a 42-year-old single mother. I have 4 beautiful boys. I have Jacob, who's 19. He's an engineering student at a university here in Texas. I also have Noah. He's 18 and a full-time electrician. We'll be going to trade school to get all of his certifications for being an electrician. I have Eli, who is 16. I do homeschool him, and I have since before all this COVID stuff broke out. But he plays football, and he also has a full-time job, so we work in school around that busy schedule. I had a son named Jaden. He passed away in 2008 when he was 2 years old, so he is, when unknown causes, we have no idea why, but we know that he's safe with Jesus. I have Malachi, though, who keeps us all on our toes. He's 2.5, and so he is a bundle of joy and some moments frustration that goes along with being a toddler. But we are blessed to live with my parents, and so I have a lot of support from my mom and dad, and that's a huge blessing. And when it comes to being a single mom and trying to tackle getting a master's degree and everything else that I do, my mom is my primary support in the evenings and weekends in order to accomplish all of my homework and tasks that I have to do. I have the blessing of being able to stay home with my dad too, because he doesn't work, and he's recently had some health scares, but in all of it, it's brought us closer together from some of the struggles that we've had in the past. So God has beautifully restored that relationship, and I'm very grateful for it. Like I said, I'm currently seeking the Master of Arts in Pastoral Counseling with a focus in parent-child adolescent relationships. I recently graduated in May in my undergrad with my undergrad in religion with a focus in Christian counseling, and so I jumped right into my master's. I hope to complete that by next summer or next year sometime, and then maybe, if the Lord allows, I've thought about going into the doctorate program, the doctorate in traumatology. That's just kind of right up where I believe the Lord is calling me to be, and I would love to be able to accomplish that, but we'll see how He actually directs that path. I currently work as an assistant director of children's ministry at my local church. It's a small church, but it's been the beautiful and the growth that we've had, even in this whole shutdown. The things that we've put out on Facebook and online have been reaching people across the world, and so it's great. And I'm very thankful for that, and being able to work in such a wonderful church and be able to work part-time from home and just be able to accomplish all that in the midst of our ever-changing world. But even before then, I was able to work a lot from home just with a toddler or have him in tow, and so that's been a huge blessing. My whole journey has been part of just one of God's grace, and I'm very grateful to be here. I was a Christian since I was young. I was saved and baptized at the age of 8, but I never really fully built that relationship with Christ. And so at 16, I graduated high school, but I also rebelled against my parents, and I thought I was going to go out and get the freedom that I always wanted, and it led to the greatest bondage of my life. So I went down some really dark roads filled with abusive relationships and addictions and many other things. And for many, many years, for 20 years, I just kind of lived in that darkness, not knowing fully how to get out. Like, I knew Jesus was the way, but I just couldn't put it all together. So these past few years, I have really been, once I got sober and I went through a faith-based transition home, and God really met me in my brokenness, and I met that mercy that just heals us, and the grace that He poured out and lavished upon me and my family. And that was actually where I started my school journey, and they allowed me to begin school down there. But I've just really come to love what spiritual formation is, because I feel like I've been on a spiritual formation journey for the past several years. It was one of the first classes that I took as part of my undergrad, and I just fell in love with it. I think because of where I was in my life, but just knowing that this life is not about me. It's about my journey and my relationship with Christ, and shedding off that old sinful human nature that wants to pull me further from God, and really being that person that God created me to be. And He's finally bringing me into that person, and He's put a calling and a desire in my heart to help other people and to begin a ministry to help other people coming out of those destructive lifestyles get their feet put on solid ground, on that firm foundation of Jesus Christ. Because for me, it wasn't 12 steps, it wasn't anything else. It was putting Jesus right at the center of my life, surrendering to Him, not just complying, but fully surrendering, and then little by little, everything began to kind of fall into place, and my relationship with him and who I was. And yes, my family's been restored and I've gotten all these wonderful blessings out of it. But even if I wouldn't have gotten all that stuff, what I have gotten is just this crazy, intimate, passionate relationship with Christ. And when I pair that with the knowledge that I have in school, and now the experience that I've had with him on a personal level, I just want to take that and I want to share that with the world, and have them and help them find the freedom in Christ, and learn what spiritual formation is, because it's a beautiful journey, and it's one that I'm finally not wasting. I'm not taking that grace in vain anymore. So I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very grateful to learn. I love to just sit at the feet of Jesus, even though sometimes I feel like I don't have the time, or it's 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is, but somehow he allows me to accomplish it through his strength and through his grace. So I am looking forward to this semester and getting to know everybody and just really digging even deeper. There's always more to learn and to grow, and that the Lord wants to tell me about myself and the areas I still struggle in, because I'm still human. And I'm just thankful that I serve a God who's merciful and full of grace. So thank you very much.